Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the FRI-YAY, August 28, 2020 edition of Nevermind the Furthermore. Hey, folks, we're 2/3 of the way through 2020. Meteor strike happening on the election eve. Two potential hurricanes in the Gulf that could have gone side by side and really turned Southeast America into something way different. And anyway, hope you're having a much better morning. Our prayers and love go to everyone who are in the path of the two hurricanes in the southeast today. Hope you have a fantastic Friday plan. And as always, like I said, I'm Brian K. Morris. Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Whether you're watching live or on the reruns, we appreciate you. Please like and share this broadcast wherever you see it. And if you're watching on Facebook, on the Rising Tide or IndieVent or my personal page, thank you. Please give this a like if you would, or love even. Give it some love, as few people have already, such as Brian Rodman. Thank you, Brian. Glad to see that. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, all right? Because we are planning to conquer the media, and we can only do it with your help. And also turn on notifications, ring that little bell, so you get notified every time we come on the air, which is, for this show, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, we have a Tuesday night show at 8 p.m. Eastern called Clever Title Pending. Please check that out. And this show is brought to you and powered by GeekInsider.com and Rising Tide. .pub, where you can sign up for my free monthly newsletter. They'll be going out next week, and we already have the cool kids cascading inward and leaving their wonderful comments, such as the lovely Teresa Dunn. Mwah! Good morning, Brian and Nevermorians. Good morning to you, Teresa. Hope you're having a great morning. Oh, also, you see a QR code up here over my shoulder. Please check that out. That's my Amazon sales page. We do write books. We write good books. We're very happy about them. And Carl Witzman, I am here, barely, but I'm here. Yeah, Carl put in a full day yesterday of viewing as he was helping me heckle Phil Locklear last night because it was his post-birthday celebration, and it'll be fun if he shows up this morning or what name he shows up under. It was a lively discussion last night, poor Phil. And Carlene, I was here before you, she brags. Mwah, glad to see you, Carlene. And Dan Stockwell, always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. Hope your morning's going well. Hi to you. And we also have the incredible Clyde Hall. Hello, FRI-YAYs and friends. Hello, my friend Clyde. Hope you and Virginia are playing a great weekend. David Atkins, good to see you, sir. Sorry, guys, got to go and grab food for my wife. Well, let her have some. Don't just be grabbing and going. And then I have a meeting with a famous film FX personality to look over a script I am working on. Updates Monday, everyone. Make this weekend fantastic and stay safe with the weather. You too, brother. You have a good weekend and good luck at your meeting. All right. And Carl Witzman, of course, Carly, but you weren't up to all hours like Brian and I were. That's true. We were up heckling Phil last night. Plus, we had a great broadcast last night. I want to thank Matthew and Meredith for interviewing me last night on Geek Insider. Please check it out on their YouTube channel and also on Facebook. It was a really fun show. They asked some great questions, and you guys had some great things to contribute. It was a really fantastic show. I had a blast, and am looking forward to my next invasion. And good morning, Brian K. Morris. Well, Beth Sturgis, mwah to you. Hope you are having a great Friday. Glad to see you. Beth is a fantastic writer. Beth, put in a link to your books, if you would, please. And everyone, when you're on here, don't forget, don't wait for me to remind you. Put in a link to your creative endeavors, your Kickstarter campaigns, your personal appearances, or if there's someone you think doesn't get enough attention, doesn't promote themselves properly, then I want you to do it for them. Or, and this is especially this really, put in a link to a charity they're fond of, okay? And share the love, all right? And Carl Witzman says, I wonder if Phil Locklear survived his show last night and will show up. Yeah, what is it, BHCF? And of course, it warmed my heart when everyone was abusing him and telling these stories when he's going, "Oh God, please don't let Brian show up," and then up I pop, just like Candyman or Beetlejuice. So yeah, it was a. I hope you had as much fun as I did, Carl. I'm just sorry I couldn't. I checked out right after you did, because Cookie was home by then. So, and anyway, Carlene's cutting no slack. Excuses, excuses. And hi, Brian. Hi, Carly. How are you this morning? I hope you are well. And Carl Wilson says, makes rude gesture in Carly's direction. Yes, they're not in the same room. So even though they are both on YouTube, Carl is still taking his life in his hands, or in this case, his finger. Teresa Dunn, Albert was pulled over for speeding on the way to dialysis. Thank goodness he just got a warning. Oh, man. Well, that'll teach that young man to have a lead foot. You spank him when you see him, and you tell him it's from me. And there's a great illustrator there, Jeffrey Hayes. Jeffrey, always a pleasure to see you. Good morning, Brian, and happy Friday to all Nevermorians. And check out plasmafiregraphics.com as well as Plasma Fire Graphics on Facebook. You will be impressed with this man's talent because he is awesome and he is talented. And Carlene is mocking us with her laughter, and that was a good geek inside her. I mean, inside her. Well, I don't know about the good geek inside her, but it was a great show last night. I seriously, and I'm not saying I'm the good part of it. No, Matthew and Meredith and I, Matthew Harrison, Meredith Logren and I had a wonderful conversation that actually went beyond the usual 60 minutes, and we went into overtime on this one, and we were having a blast. And even then, the three of us talked for another 20 minutes, and then Meredith and I were talking for about another half hour. So. Kofefe, my friends, Kofefe. And you see, that's the fun of being on these shows is frequently the after show, because that's the part that doesn't get recorded for blackmail purposes. And yeah, we get to let our hair down, such as it is in my case, and speak very candidly. So it's always a good time, as Carl can vouch, because Carl's been on me several times. He's one of my go-to people for on-air talent, and talent is the key word there. And he'll be back again, I promise you that. And Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., happy Friday, everyone. Have a wonderful, fun, and productive weekend. Check out TyroneTonyReedJr.com. Tyrone, it's a pleasure, my friend, as always. Hope you and your lady are having a great Friday, and we'll plan an even better weekend. All right, always good to have you here. Check out the Soul Ed series on Amazon by this guy. He is insanely talented. And Beth Sturgis says, I am pleased to announce I have been selected as the municipal liaison for NaNoWriMo 2020 for the USA Indiana Richmond region. Join us in November for a virtual National Novel Writing Month. Oh, that's beautiful, Beth. Congratulations. And this is a good time to promote that in November, I did this last year, and I'm thinking I should do it again. I need to prep something. But anyway, NaNoWriMo, for those of you who don't know what that is National Novel Writing Month. It's been going on for about 20 years now, I believe. But the purpose is that the participants write from November 1st to November 30th. You write 50,000 words, which sounds like, holy cow, that's a lot of wordage. But you break it down, it breaks down into something like 1,670 words a day if you type every day. And and the beautiful thing is it's a great time to really get your novel off the ground. And the idea is you're writing that first draft. It doesn't matter how polished it is. In fact, don't polish it. You can do that afterwards. But you got to get that first draft down. That is the exciting part. You got to get all those ideas onto your notepad or onto paper, whatever. And the beautiful thing is the support. Now, last year I did it, and I was very transparent about my progress and lack of progress on some days. But I was astounded that how many of my friends were also participating in this, and I've got some ideas for some some books. Now, the thing is, you can take October and do your research, do your outline, do your prep work, so that November 1st, what you're going to do is you're going to put your nose to the grindstone, your shoulder to the wheel, and you're going to try to walk. Good luck. Anyway, it's going to be awkward. But you get out that first draft, and once you get that first draft, that is where the power begins. That's where it all happens. And so, Bess, congratulations to you. Keep us posted on that, all right? And Carl Witzman says Carl will be back. Now, Brian, don't threaten these nice people. I am tantalizing them is what it is. And Rick Bradley, good morning, Nevermorians. Rick, a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here. And I want to thank everyone again for being on last Tuesday's Clever Title Pending. If you have not caught that, bring a pen and a notepad because you have got notes to take. Because USA Today best-selling author Jason Nugent was my guest, and I think we had a great conversation. And I've been getting high marks about how much people were learning from Jason, and that's what it's about. Now tomorrow we're going to have another learning opportunity as I will be participating in the indie event that will be happening tomorrow and Sunday. I will be doing a special edition of Clever Title Pending at noon, and we're going to have Russell Allen, Russ Explode, and Russ Explode Studios books. And one of the things he's doing is he's working on a crowdfunding campaign for his next book, Xenonanite Titan. And he's also planning on doing some comic books related to it. So we're going to interview him about that. It's going to be a very comic-centric weekend. So please join us for that, if you would, please. And Brian Rodman says, good morning, my fellow Brian. Good morning to you, Brian. Good to see you, brother. Really enjoyed Geek Insider and all your wisdom bombs last night. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that sincerely. Check out brianrodman.com and order Memoirs of an Angel, a horror fantasy comic book series about a broken witch hunter who gets caught up in a cosmic war that has been raging for centuries. We wrapped up the Kickstarter for issue 6 last week, and it finished very strong. Thank you for your support. Well, Brian, that is fantastic. I forgot to check up on that. Thank you for the progress report, Brian. And next time you get a crowdfunding campaign, you come here, brother. We'll get some eyes in front of your project, okay? And congratulations, Brian. I am sincerely, I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of anybody who crosses the finish line on this stuff, seriously. And someone else we appreciate so very highly is Tina Mchenry. Mwah, Tina, how you doing? Howdy, Nevermorians. Happy Friday. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter, please sign up. We have an ongoing blog, Rodney Fike Called Back in the 70s, or in the 90s. Wow, I shouldn't say 70s. I'm the only one. Carl and I are the only two who remember that. But anyway, please sign up for their monthly newsletter. Yeah, please do that. Yeah. Check out the newsletters, man. Seriously, there are some great newsletters out there. In fact, Tina, I've got to sign up for yours. I know you're on mine. And folks, if you look at the crawl going across your screen right now, you can sign up for my monthly newsletter. It is absolutely free. We don't even ask for money from you some months, but we have some secret links that we are sure will delight you. And we're not going to be going to my go-tos on marble racing or the Panic broadcast of 1938. That's an event that really fascinates me. It really does. But we will have some really cool videos for you this month, as well as some inspirational quotes. And we're going to try something a little different. So warm up your YouTube viewing thing, because we're going to try a little message to the nation or something. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's you can go to risingtide.pub and sign up for my free monthly newsletter. And before she gets here, also write this down: CKOEPP.com. That's Cindy Kep's website where you can sign up for her free newsletter. Please, please, if you got a newsletter, share that with our public here so that they can enjoy it as well. And Tina, Carl Wisman says, if you remember the 60s or 70s, take a nap this afternoon before dropping by the green room tonight. That's right, Carl, by invitation only, is alternating with the Uncle Carl's Drunken Rant, and he's going to open up the green room. And Carl, I'm going to try to set up my new camera tonight and be on there. I finally got it working, and I did some testing with it, and it's cool. I've got to get a memory card for it, but then after that, we are probably going to start using it on our live broadcast, and it's a beauty. It is a really nice camera, and it's only about this big. Yes. And leave out your jokes, people. And anyway, Tina has a link to hasm.com and then /$ section dash 2194. That sounds very military. Anyway, check out Tina Mchenry and Rodney Fike's newsletter. They're charming people, and they put out some really, really cool stuff. All right. And Carl Wisman says, yay, new camera. And Jeffrey Hayes, I see your comment. We're going to come to that in a minute. And Russell Allen says, good morning, everyone. And good morning to you, Russell. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow about the comic you plan to produce and your crowdfunding, which I'm sure will be of interest to everyone. And it's only this big, says Carleen. Yeah, drink. It ain't the size of your camera, people. It's the what you do with it. And let's see, here we go. Bill Sarden, see you sneak in. Glad to see that. But anyway, I want to get something in front of you guys. This is a brand new I want to bring some attention to this. It's a brand new show from my friend Randy Zimmerman, does Zim himself. And it's something that if you are into comics, especially older stuff, I think you're going to dig this. Check this out, people.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
And he had me at Sugar and Spike. Anyway, check out Randy Zimmerman's brand new show, Sundays at 9 a.m. on indievolt.com. And Jeffrey Hayes says, Brian, if I may pose a question to all the fine authors in attendance. Well, I'm going to answer too, Jeffrey, so brace yourself. When choosing a cover designer or artist, what factors do you take into consideration and are most important to you when making your choice? As indie authors, is cost the greatest consideration? Jeffrey, I'll start this one, and I would love if you other writers would chime in on this. For me, as an independent publisher, cost is not the primary factor. You get what you pay for, and if you want to pay a little higher price, that's fine. But first and foremost, for me, is it appropriate to the subject matter of the book? For instance, you know Jeffrey Hayes. I'll announce it right now. Jeffrey Hayes, I'm planning to have as my artist on the Doc Saga series, and I'm halfway to being able to figure out what I want that cover to look like because I'm in the process of editing the stories right now. And I looked at Jeffrey's style and I said he fits this to a T. And then we've talked and we find out that we're on the same page on a lot of artistic things. And but for me, it's the appropriateness of the artist's style. For instance, let me use some examples here. Sandestein. I was familiar with my friend Trevor Hawkins' work. I knew that he had the kind of moody, atmospheric stuff that would make this cover pop, as well as on this one, the haunting scripts of Bachelor's Grove. He has a wonderful energetic style that really lends itself to really dark stuff. And I also wanted somebody that could do something really fiery and vibrant. So he was the artist on my Volcana series. Now we have our cover already for the second book that I'll be writing later this year. Actually rewriting, I've tried 3. This is my 3rd attempt to write it. I want it to be correct. But then again, we had somebody in mind for the Skyman novel, but they kind of flaked out on us severely. And this illustration by Pat Boyette just happened to fall into my hands, and I did some correction work on it along with Randy Bishop and Trevor Hawkins, and we whipped this into shape, the 3 of us. So yeah, I do a little bit of art too, very, very little, fortunately. And Randy Bishop cleaned this up and I did this on a cleanup of the very first illustration of Skyman by Ogden Whitney. So yeah, appropriateness for the book is first and foremost with me. And also, do I get a good vibe from the artists? I like we did, Jeffrey, and you came highly recommended. Recommendations count for a lot. You were recommended to me by Charles F. Millhouse, and that's good enough for me any day. And found out that we could work. I think we could work together well. And you promised me a reasonable turnaround, which was part of my problem with the artist on Sky, the original artist on Skyman. No names, but like I said, that person kind of flaked on me, and so we actually had to let him go. But I would say first and foremost, talent, appropriateness, ability to communicate with them. And I would say price is actually the least of my concerns. Now, being reasonably priced definitely is a plus, though. So anyway, other authors, I would love to hear what you have to say. And let's see, let's go back to your comments here. Carl Wisman, why do you need a memory card? Are you going to record the show at the same time? Do I need to run a memory card over there this afternoon? No, Carl, you don't, but thank you. I've actually got one in mind. It's a tiny little thing. It's like I can get like they call for a 16 gig, but I think I can get a 64 gig for like under $15 at Staples, and I've got a couple coupons right now, so it's going to be real cheap. Anyway, like they're probably going to go and pay me to take it, but anyway, but thank you. I appreciate that, I really do. But no, we will be doing some recording on it because we are also going to use that for the series of videos that we're planning to do soon, educational videos. On writing and publishing and creativity. So anyway, we'll be starting work on. We've been working on them off and on. I've been trying to polish the scripts that we're going to be doing and figuring out what kind of delivery I want to have on them. So, but we're going to try to add like a video a week to our YouTube channel. So if you're any sort of creative person, you might get something from it. But we'll let y'all know when it happens. Drink. And I did. Rick Bradley tells us, talk about promotion. There we go. And I scrolled right by it because I'm an idiot. Anyway, Marvin always wanted adventure. Taking a cross-country trip was supposed to be the biggest adventure of his life. Careful what you wish for, Marvin. Having car trouble near an unfamiliar forest and being followed by darkness. Will Marvin make it through the night? Find out when you order the introduction to Rick Bradley's Eden Falls trilogy, Marvin's Night Out, right now on Amazon in paperback and digital form. Check out that link there, all right? And that'll take you right to his page. Rick, let's make I'm going to give you a writing challenge. Let's boil that down to an elevator pitch. 2 cents to make that as short a pitch and as exciting as you can, all right? And I'll check out his author page at our Bradley too, and he wants to see you there because he posts funny things and updates to upcoming projects, and he has a website at authorrickbradley.com. Check it out. Brian Rodman then says, I appreciate the encouragement and kind words, my friend. Dude, you make it easy. You got the talent to back it up. And next year we will start putting out an issue of the comic every quarter. Here's hoping I don't go insane. No, going insane will be a prerequisite for doing it every quarter. I'm hoping to up my comic output next year too. In fact, I'm getting scripts ahead on it so that we can start working on that. Anyway, man, you make it easy, man, because you're crazy talented, Brian. And Russell Allen, novel, Brian, soon to be comic book down the road. Yes, but we're going to talk about your comic book. Okay, what your plans? How are you setting it up? How did you work your Kickstarter? Because it's going to be a comic-centric weekend, and we told you that at the start. So start getting into the comics mode there. But we will be talking about your book, of course, and we'll talk about the challenges of trying to. We'll discuss it. Maybe we'll help you out on that. Because I'm working with somebody who is turning their novel, and it's huge, really huge. Carlene. Anyway, but there's challenges there, and we want to, let's talk about it and see what the challenges are and what how you thought ahead on this. All right. And Bill Sargent says, TGIF, Brian and Nevermorians. Good to see you, Bill. Please say a prayer for my 80-year-old disabled friend who lives alone in Jamestown, Louisiana. Jamestown was in the path of Hurricane Laura, and I've not been able to get a hold of him to do a wellness check. Oh man, please keep us posted, Bill. We'll be praying for him. But yeah, that's rough. And I know people that that live in that region, and I'm are you still posting? Are you still posting? Are you okay? So yeah, let's keep the people in the path of the twin hurricanes in our thoughts and prayers right now. And if you don't think it works, you're wrong. And for a friend, look at Lacey Lemke's book, brand new, Enter God Erasure. Yes, yes. Lacey Lemke of Nightmare Oasis has released a brand new fantasy book, and please check it out because she is incredibly talented. She's a wonderful lady, and got to talk to her all day the other day. Facebook messaging and stuff, but she's doing well, and she's busy right now, but she's trying to stretch her wings as a creator, and I want to encourage that. And Carl Witzman, I agree with this 100%. I hope that you hear a safe call soon, Bill Sarn. That is true. And please, if you do know anyone in that area, please encourage them to check in with Facebook as soon as the danger is past. All right. And actually, there's going to be some areas in the eastern United States that's going to see some severe weather. In fact, I think Laura is actually going to influence some of the weather, like in our area. I think in a couple days we're going to start seeing some storms come in. Not like Florida, not like the Gulf is seeing right now, but just the same. Carlene, I looked at his artist page, saw drawings similar to what I wanted and liked what I saw. So choosing Ted Davies for my cover art was a no-brainer. Thank you, Carlene. Yeah. And it's, and part of that I will say is, like I said earlier, is like, it's your connections. It is your connections that really help a lot in these creative decisions. Like I said, Charles F. Millhouse recommended my new friend to me, and so we Jeffrey Hayes, yeah, blanked out for a moment. Sorry, Jeffrey, but yeah, he recommended Jeffrey Hayes, and so I checked it out and checked him out, and Jeffrey and I got to talking, and I thought, man, this is the guy for me. Just as Carl picked Eric Hawkins for The Mad Gasser of Calhoun County, his latest book. So yeah. And okay, where are Christian Basil and Sarah this morning? I have no idea. We got to find them. And Carl Witzman from YouTube says, cool, Carlene. And is Michaela Jade pocketing us today? He asks. We can only hope. And let's see. There we go. And micro memory card. Yeah, this thing's small, about the size of my pinky thumbnail. Dang. And Russell Allen says, Jeffrey Hayes, my first consideration is who I know and what style they use. I want a style that represents the mood of the book and has the energy I'm looking for. Cost is only an afterthought to make sure it's feasible. Yeah, same with me. And the thing is with crowdfunding, although it's not as easy with books, I'm finding, as it is with, say, comic books, it's still doable. But you have to make a really good plan to hit it, to hit that crowdfunding platform with. And there's this one, Warrior's Secret Elite Warrior novel by Michaela Jade. You need to check that out too, because she's awesome and really huge. Yep, Brian. And drink. Yep. And there she is, Lacey Lemke. Mwah! Thanks for the shout out, Carl Wisman. Thank you for being here, hon. Glad to talk to you the other day. And I'm going to pull the trigger on that other thing we discussed the other day. Anyway, Lacey is a very talented writer and a darling lady, and she and I are missing each other incredibly because we just see each other all the time on the road, and that sort of thing just ain't happening at the moment. Our next show is tentatively scheduled for October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's going to be in Hannibal, Missouri, Big River Comic Con. And Darren Logue is going to put on his third event, and I will be there along with Amy Hale and Eric Hawkins and some really, really cool people. So please join us. Go to brcchannibal.com for more information. And Russell Allen says, are you sure you have enough time for me to talk about it? Well, we'll squeeze in what we can. I have a plan for that, Russell. I have a plan for that. The show proper will run a little under 60 minutes, but nothing says we can't go into overtime. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, we'll talk. And also, we want your questions. So please join us for the indie event this weekend. Philip Thompson. Hello, Philip. Glad to see you. How you encourage yourself to write when you don't feel like it? Well, Philip, in my case, and that's tough, man. We can do a whole show on trying to get yourself motivated when you don't feel like it. And a lot of times right now, especially with the situation in the news, what with the My Sharona Miley Cyrus Peter pandemic, political unrest here and abroad, plus the massive, massive injustices being done to the communities on a systematic daily basis, it seems anymore. There's a lot to think about, a lot to worry about, plus an economy that could go into recession at any time. There's a lot on our plates and a lot to be concerned with. Now, how I do it, one, is discipline. I do something every day creative, even if it's for 10 minutes, because it gets me that much closer to my goal. And also, this is my job. Writing and editing and creating is my job. It's not my hobby. It is not something that I can do. It is something I must do. Not just psychologically, but also for the fact that that's my income. And plus, I enjoy it so very much. And the work itself is my therapy. So just doing it helps. If I just get going, then it helps me get out of my doldrums. Also, when I see you creating, Phil, or I see Carl or Lacey or Donna or Brian or Russell or any of you people doing your thing, and I see you moving ahead, I got to do my thing so I can keep up with you. Because, part of why I do it is I love your company. I love being in your peer group, and I don't want to lose that. It means a lot to me. I don't want to be that guy that used to write Volcana. I want that guy to have, to be the guy who just released his 28th Volcana book, sort of thing, so that I can justify hanging with you guys, not just for my sparkling personality. So anyway, how do you all get through it? How do you get through the blues? And I will admit, about a month ago, I don't even remember now what triggered it. And that's the thing with some of my worst bouts of depression. I never can remember later what triggered it. But I got something happened, and my depression went into a serious nosedive, and I was useless for about 2 days. And I did a broadcast, and it was, as was asked of me last night on Geek Insider, how do you do that when you don't feel like it? I'm a good actor. Some days I'm a better actor than most. But right now I'm in a good space right now. I'm in a great space. I'm working on my book right now. I am reading one of the Doc Saga stories that I am like, I'm going to backhand this person when I see them, because they're writing so much better. They're writing my own character better than I am. In fact, everyone I've read so far is writing it better than I am. That's annoying as hell. So anyway, but anyway, being able to move forward creatively, that's what helps get me out of it. And I don't take medicine for what I do. I don't. I certainly don't drink myself into happiness anymore, because that's a losing proposition. But anyway, how do you all deal with the blues? How do you put them beside yourself and get the work done? That's it. That's important. You could save some people here. It's just a job, says Carl Witzman. Philip, you just got to do it, even if you toss out everything you wrote that day. It's good exercise. That's true, Carl. And if you write something, if you draw something, that practice alone makes you a better creator, because you've done it. It's like Michael Jordan, 15 years old, doing layups and missing, because he knows that every miss gets him closer to a basket. Every no you get when you're trying to sell your work gets you closer to a yes. And every brush stroke, every keystroke brings you closer to excellence. Perfection is impossible. Never go for perfection. Excellence is achievable, though. And that's great, Carl. Thank you so much. And Michaela Jane checks in. Hello, I'm off work today. No pocket imagery today. Well, where will you be putting your phone then, once we start chatting you up? Oh, darling. And Lacey Lemke says, even if it's just a word or a sentence you wrote, it feels heavy until you start moving the pen. Exactly. It's like rolling a boulder downhill. It picks up momentum. And even just, maybe I'm wrong, but even just the act of fighting against the depression helps strengthen me. And it's not to say that sometime this afternoon I might be like, why am I doing this? Why am I fooling myself, sort of thing? The imposter syndrome will kick in once again. with its insidious presence. But yeah, just working through it is the best way. Thank you, Carl, and thank you, Lace, for your suggestions. And Rick Bradley weighs in. Philip, sometimes when I just can't get the will to write, I'll go for a drive and listen to music. Usually my brain will keep going on a story in mind, and sometimes will even start getting excited about it. Also, like Carl said, just do it. Write anything, even if it has nothing to do with the story you're working on. That's brilliant, Rick. Thank you very much. And music and distraction are a very big part of it. Like sometimes I'll watch YouTube, because maybe I'll like teach myself something, like on marketing or writing, or just something that doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. Maybe I'll find an item that I find interesting and start researching it. But I also set a timer so that I don't do it all day. I don't like put on. I could put on a movie. I've done that on occasions. Although that's usually a couple hours, then I don't want to stay in that space too long. But a lot of times, like I have two pages, playlists of music I dig on my YouTube account. Which, by the way, please subscribe and like my YouTube page. I would love that. We're at 113, and I'd really like to get to 500 before the end of the year. That would be so. Please let everyone know I've got one. Okay, that I would appreciate it greatly, and I appreciate your cooperation. But I've got two channels of music, and it's a really wild playlist. I have I have a little bit of rap on there, some country, some parody, a lot of old music. I've been playing this one video by the Easy Beats called Friday on My Mind, which is what I referenced in today's description. But I play a lot of British invasion stuff. A lot of live concerts. I found one last week of one of Kiss's final dates on their farewell tour before the coronavirus hit. So that's been a lot of fun. And speaking of a lot of fun, let's mention this while we're pausing here to catch up.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Definitely check out the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Christian Basil puts on an incredible show and leads some great discussions on Doctor Who. And one of his upcoming episodes, as he revealed on here the other day, he's going to be talking with Doctor Number 7, the one, the only Mr. Sylvester McCoy. So whether you love him in Doctor Who, as we do, or you saw him in the the Hobbit movies, please check out Christian Basil in his interview with the legendary Sylvester McCoy. That's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be on the legendofthetravelingtardis.com or the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS on Facebook. Check it out and hashtag become part of the legend. Lacey Lemke continues with her GoFundMe for her comic book for Silas Slaughter. Definitely check that out. I've contributed to that, and I think you should too. And even just $5, $10 gets her closer to her goal. All right. And author Michaela Jade says, thanks for the plug, Carl Witzman. Well, and how long has it been since you've gotten a good plugging from us, Michaela? And we are always standing by, standing tall, ready to help. And Jeffrey Hayes says, thank you for your input. I'm trying to develop a pricing matrix. And I shot past it because I'm an idiot. I'm trying to develop a pricing matrix that is reasonable for indie authors, as well as a list of services that are fair and reflective of the dollars they invest. Appreciate you all fielding this question. Your answer helped me chart a course on how I can further promote my services. Well, I'm glad we can help you, Jeffrey. Just don't raise your prices till I pay for mine, okay? Anyway, but yeah, no, Jeffrey offers a number of packages that are, that are very reasonable, and like I said, he's crazy talented. So Jeffrey, I hope we helped, and I really check out his work. He is really terrific. He's we're going to have him do Doc Saga, and I'm excited by it. Author Michaela Jade, I find if I'm not motivated to write on my current project, I write something different, even if it's a journal entry or a throwaway piece or a character profile, even a damn to-do list. Just the act of writing helps. That is true. Well, the other day I started like a side project, which I know I don't need to because I've got 2 novels in the hopper. But it's kind of, I'm calling it a flash novel. I know where I want it to end up, kind of. But I'm just kind of pantsing it, 1 chapter at a time. My limitations are the word count per chapter. And the thing is, once I started the first chapter, ideas started flowing. Now, it's not to say that I'm going to use this method forever and for everything, but for this kind of thing, also I'm planning on using it in collaboration with a Patreon account I have. So if you want to see a novel in progress, featuring some public domain characters that I am utilizing, that we will, once we get about 4 or 5 editions in there, we are going to start letting you know about it, so you can start reading a work in progress. All right. Anyway, thank you, Michaela. Love you, honey. And Carl Witzman says, one more friend that I'll push, Donna Carleen with her book, Hunter's Ridge. Yes, definitely check that out on Lulu. She's an incredible creative lady, writes in a number of areas and like different rooms of the house. And she's wonderful. I love her. We all love her. So please check out her work. I need to get some of your books, honey. And the stories for Doc Saga that you read have been better than yours. Oh, you've not read mine yet. You're next, Rick. You're next. You probably hear that a lot. But anyway, no. I've read, well, of course, I read mine. And we're going to rewrite it. You guys are so good, I've got to keep up. But I've read Charles F. Millhouse's, and it's amazing. It's kind of a Doctor Strange kind of vibe to it. And now I'm reading Cindy Kepps, and it is so totally different and so perfect that I'm like, dang it, you two do this better than I do. Which I shouldn't be surprised by. I have every hopes of yours, Rick. I am sure that yours will amaze me with its excellence. And David Atkins is back. Just for a minute, I am free. I didn't realize you were charging, David. Do you take MasterCard? But for me, my wife helps my darkness, and other times my art, I assume, helps. Then it takes gospel music helps because faith that God will fulfill justice helps me not worry. There you go. Well, David, there just comes a time when you just say, okay, God, I'm putting it in your hands. I've done that several times with some uh, very important concerns of mine, and I have said, God, this is up to you. You have told me that you will help me if I leave it up to you and have faith. And that's the tough part, is not noodling with it afterwards. And we're not talking cat fisting either. Um, you just have to say, okay, this is my great concern. I recognize it is beyond my power, but it is well within yours. And please take care of this. Amen. And then leave it alone. All right. And I have always found that it works to my favor. Plus, being rising tide helps too. And speaking of rising tide, there is the chief priestess of rising tide, Meredith Logren. Good morning, Nevermore. And she says, and Meredith, thank you again for last night. And we've already run Randy's spot once, so we're going to do it again before the end of the show. And thank you for uploading that for me, Meredith. But yeah, we had a great talk last night. Meredith and Matthew and I on Geek Insider. It was a great show. Had an incredible time, and I am looking forward to my next invasion of their program. And Meredith and I have discussed, we're going to have Meredith back for an episode of Clever Title Penning, and I know you're all looking forward to that because she's darling. She is our giantess, and it's going to be a good time. Anyway, Brian Rodman then continues, says, for me, I pour my times of depression into my creative work, which is easy to do when you're drawing demons. Journaling usually turns into notes for my work. Also, consuming good material is key. Now, that's a good point. I run to books, shows, and movies that inspire me. I also have a strong prayer life. All of those things rolled into one. Well, I think you were leading up to the best part. Like Bob Dylan said, we've all got to worship someone, and that is great advice, Brian. That's it in a nutshell. Part of it's distraction, part of it is rededication. And it all boils down to the commitment to your work in a lot of ways. That like we discussed last night on Geek Insider, look at the history of your favorite creators. And one thing I hear a lot of when people ask, when we get to talking about, getting into the creative fields, and one thing I'm confronted with a lot are people saying, well, I'm waiting for the right time. Well, guess what? It isn't happening. Well, actually, there's two answers. One, there will never be the perfect time to release something or to work on something, but it's always the right time to do it. It's kind of a weird paradox there, because you look at the history of your favorite writers. How many of them had the perfect time to do it? And I can't think of a single author, who had a perfect time to release something. There was always some challenge. J.K. Rowling was a single mother on unemployment when she submitted Harry Potter. John Creasy, who is not a household word to a lot of Americans, but in Great Britain, he is considered like the father of the police procedural novel. And he's like a superstar. The late John Creasy was a superstar over there, and he's had movies and TV shows based on his work in England. But he sent his first novel out hundreds of times, and he sent it out one more time, promising that if he didn't get this sale, he would give up writing. And it's sold, and it's sold, and it's sold. And it's even the lady who wrote 50 Shades of Grey, that started out as basically erotic fan fiction for Twilight, but she had to rewrite that thing in order to make it sell, and she worked. I mean, say what you will about 50 Shades, and I don't have a high opinion of the work myself. It's just not my cup of joe. But the fact is, she worked, and she did everything right, and it paid off for her, and that's the thing. So anyway, you just have to work your way through it, and also, put your mind and heart in the hands of those who will take the best care of it. And Meredith, I was looking at Meredith as I said that. Anyway, Carl Wisman says, good morning, Meredith the Giantess. And Philip Thompson, what's your marketing and promotion strategies? We talked about that last night, too, on Geek Insider. Mine are basically promote my friends, and when I put stuff out, I am grateful to find that they are more than happy to reciprocate. So build your network, Philip, and don't stop talking about your work. In fact, like I said, I've added a QR code to your upper right-hand side of the screen, and if you shoot your camera at that thing, it's going to take you straight to my Amazon sales page. So Bill Sargent says, to give you the artist's advice on choosing an artist for your work, when I was approached by Cindy Kep to do the artwork for the swag for 2 of her books, I asked her a lot of questions about the characters. At one point, she probably thought she was talking to Sherlock Holmes, but it helps artists greatly at creating the character you envision. That's true. And that's the thing with Jeffrey Hayes and I. It was a two-way street. He was asking me questions. I was asking him. And I think we kind of zeroed into, it's like we're kind of like flying around each other, noticing each other. And it was almost like speed dating in a way. And then all of a sudden, that circle's tightening to where we reach a point of agreement. So, so that conversation with your creative partners is very important. And it's not just artists; it's also designers. It's also your editors. Occasionally I talk to people who, didn't vet their editors, and suddenly the editor says, "Well, I don't want to work on this," or "Well, I can't work on this. I disagree with everything in here." So anyway. And the giantess with pink hair and black lips, says Carl Witzman. Yeah. And Sarah, good morning to you, darling. Calling in from YouTube. Glad to see you, hon. It's always a pleasure to see you, sweetheart. Sarah's a very talented author, and is writing 100 lists that are very useful to authors and anyone who wants some inspiration for their games or their creativity. Check it out. Sarah, if you think of it, please put in the address so we can promote your work and get you some money. David Atkins, remember, friends help to make a story happen when you can. Just write. Ideas will explode, but needs a fire to spark it. Yeah, or just draw. Just do some sketching. I know David was doing some sketching a couple weeks ago, and don't tell me it didn't help you, man. Anyway, Russell Allen says, much love, everyone. Hope to see you all tomorrow with Brian K. Morris. Please check out my book and artist-creator interviews at Russ Explode. That's Russ Explode with an X in the middle of it and not an E. But anyway, please check it out. Please check it out. And Russell, I'm looking forward to talking to you. I'll probably touch base with you later today because we'll set up that page and I'll give you the link to get into the studio. But anyway, tomorrow noon at the indie event, we're going to talk about novels and comics and creativity and crowdfunding and all kinds of stuff with Russell Allen, all right, on the indie event. So thank you very much, Russell. I appreciate that. And I appreciate Adrian Johnson. Morning to you, my friend. Hope your morning is going well. Hope your weekend's going to go greater. And on YouTube at Russ Explode Studios. Have a great day while I'm on the road again. Well, safe travels, my friend. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And speaking of talented artists, Brian Rhodes. Brian, good to see you, my friend. Hope you and the family are doing well. And he's calling in from YouTube there for the better picture and sound quality. Cool quote I heard the other day. Quote, I hate writing, but I love having written. Yes, that's it in a nutshell. I'm sure every writer in this conversation and listening to us on YouTube or Facebook are going, amen, brother, amen. Let the future rush of having created something help push you through the sometimes very difficult act of creating. Yeah, Brian, and we were talking about that last night on Geek Insider. Great conversation last night. How just the act of starting puts you ahead of all these dinglings who say, I want to be a writer, but can't get off their butts long enough to commit to something to either paper or ones or zeros. Now, Brian Rhodes is, very, very talented creator, incredible artist and writer. And he's got a lot of work, so please check it out at bigskink.com. But yeah, just the act of starting puts you ahead of so many people. I kind of liken it to, for every person that gets something published, there's 10 people that want, that don't quite make it. But then of those 10 people, the ones who get to the point where they're submitting stuff, there's 10 people on each of them who want to, get that, who didn't submit something. So then each of those 10 people who, didn't submit something, at least they finished something. All right. And each of them have 10 people who didn't quite get to the finish line, didn't quite get it completely done. And then for each of those, you've got a line of people who maybe didn't take it all the way through the production process. All right. Then they've all got 10 people who are, maybe just finished their work, but didn't quite start the production process. So you see how this balloons. So you hear people saying, well, the writing field or the art field or the music field is oversaturated. No, there's a lot of people that don't make it to the finish line because they don't even try. But just the act of starting puts you into the next category. Then finishing it puts into the next line. Then polishing, and then getting the work out to the public. And then you see where this is going. This is how you go through a lot of the rabble. All right, just getting it to the next level, which has a therapeutic effect on people. But that's great, Brian. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt sometimes. And yeah, would I like a finished novel? Yeah, I'd love for Volcana 2 to be out right now, the Prometheus cover-up, or frame-up, rather. And I know there's only one way to do it. I'm going to have to write it. So anyway, that's where it's at. And thank you very much for that, Brian. That was a great quote. I appreciate that very much. And glad to see you again, man. It's been too long. And Carl Westman says it's Sarah. And, well, dang, LOL, says Carly Carlene. And Sarah goes, it's Carl. Sarah. Carl. Sarah. Carl. Anyway, Carl Witzman says, right, Brian Rhodes. I don't recall who said that. Time to Google. Yeah, please let me know. I do remember hearing that, but I don't remember who said it. And Carly Carlene says, won't let me post the synopsis. Well, dang. And David Atkins is back saying, here is an example. Was rushing to get wife food, and a couple was walking to Walmart, but stopped to talk to me and gave me a package of cupcakes. Random stories help to inspire. Oh, that's beautiful, man. And that's the universe paying you back, man. Paying you back. And Michaela J says, had to switch over to YouTube. That's right. You must. And he said packages, Michaela. And Michaela says, I like packages. Well, I'm going to have to show you mine sometime. You might like it. And drank, says Carl. And Joe Dog McKeel. Howdy from the Tube of Views. Joe Dog, good to see you. Joe Dog, every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. on Saturday nights hosts Stupid O'Clock, a great conversation show. And what's the topic this week? Damned if he knows, damned if any of us know. But you got to tune in and join in the conversation. It's always a good time. I'm missing you guys, and I'm gonna invade you sometime. I'm gonna put on the fizz and hop in one of these times. But anyway, check out Stupid O'Clock. Also, they have a Facebook page, so please give that a like and get them closer to Facebook supremacy. And Sarah, so do I, Michaela. Well, we got a plan, Sarah Con. Oh my God, I just realized that yesterday. We've been remiss. I got to talk to Cookie about that. And health update for Cookie. Cookie is downstairs. Cookie is still getting twinges from, as you know, 1 week ago she sprained a muscle in her rib cage, but thanks to medicine and magic hands, ladies, these hands are magic. I can cure all your ills with them. And guys, you're on your own. But anyway, thanks to a variety of treatments and care and a couple days off, Cookie will be working overtime this weekend at her new job. She's looking forward to that because tomorrow is time and a half and Sunday is double time. And we've got some unsecured debt, i.e. credit cards, from the early days of Rising Tide, as well as moving expenses, even after all this time, that we need to whittle that down. And that's why you need to buy books, folks. Check out the QR code in the upper right-hand corner and go to Amazon and please check out our books. Or contact me directly and I will sell you the books directly. I will charge no postage and I will sign them for you, get them in the mail within 24 hours and even give you a tracking number so as you can track the progress of your book. So anyway, we got to get Sarah Con plan. I need to start working on that. And it's the Joe Dog, says Carl Witzman. And like I said, check out Stupid O'Clock tomorrow night at 11. It's going to be great. And awesome, Sarah, yes. And Joe Dog says, shh, I'm cheating on Facebook. Well, we just want the videos. That's all, Joe. Anyway, glad to see you here. And don't we all, Sarah and Michaela? Indeed, Carly. Oh, I'm getting excited. And Carl has been drank. He's gonna be well lubricated. For his green room show tonight. And ladies, I hope you'll be there. And Sarah mocks Carl with her laughter. Carl Witzman says, "Oh, Sarah and her air conditioner joining us in the green room tonight?" And catfist matters, says Sarah. And Sarah loves a good catfisting, that's for sure. Anyway, if you don't know what catfisting is, then check out the green room tonight at Carl Witzman's secret humor page, the worst kept secret on the entire internet. And anyway, did someone say hashtag catfisting? I believe I just did. And great minds think alike, Carl. Yeah, great depraved minds, and I love you both. And Bill Sarton asks, what's yellow, magical, and adventure filled? For the answer, join the far out and groovy people by clicking on Sarnart76, the artwork of Bill Sarton, for all things from yesteryear. So check out the artwork of Bill Sarton on Facebook, where everything old is new again. Definitely. And Carl Witzman, great minds or dirty minds, Sarah? And Sarah answers both. Well, which is why I feel such a kinship to them both. And David Atkins says, here we go. The hanging tassel matters. Hashtag cookie come home. Hashtag Brian matters. Thank you. Hashtag drank matters. Hashtag David Atkins matters. Thank you, brother. And Carl mocks David out with the laughter. The laughter is going around here. And 50 Shades is a trilogy for those who don't know and need a bit of random info, says Sarah. That's true. Even more random than it originally started out as fan fiction for the Twilight books. But the author of 50 Shades didn't think they were having enough sex with each other. And so she sought to remedy that. So anyway, Meredith Longren from YouTube brings her wisdom, says, build your network and surround yourself with people who can make you better. And I love that blackberry lipstick, Carl. I'm going to rework my wig. Wow. We need more visuals on this show. Rick, is it true we need more visuals on this show? let's ask Batman. Yep, we got it. And Superman thinks it's a good idea. Christian Basil, though, fears what we might find. And Ultraman, that's just rude, Ultraman. Maybe he's just telling us we want just one thing in mind. So anyway, that's what we got going there. And Carl Witzman says, that looks so kinky. And in DVED, I was just setting up that room for you, Brian. And thank you, Meredith. And I appreciate that, and I will go in later and check because you set it up for what you need, and I will get the rest of my rooms in there too. So let's pack that room, all right? And Rick Bradley says, for my story for Tales of the Weird and Strange and Pulp Reality, I talked back and forth about the story so the artist could draw for it. The one for Pulp Reality, I'm in love with, yeah. And my artist on Pulp Reality too. I talked with him. And I gave him a general idea. Then I had a hard time finding his work online, and I finally found his Twitter account. I found he had posted nothing on Facebook with his art, and I told him, I said, dude, you got to fix that. But I found his Twitter feed. It seems like he spends more time on Twitter than Facebook. We'll re-educate the guy and get him straightened out. But anyway, he once I saw what he specialized in, I then reached out and said, hey, this, because you're really strong in this. And then he turned out something that was different from both of my ideas. And I said, well, if Charles at Millhouse likes it, I say run with it. And he did. So I've got I'm blessed to have some great artists in my corner. And Carlene says, as a Dorothy Parker quote, Brian, one of my favorite quotes. Yes, Dorothy Parker. Oh my God, the lady was such a fount of wisdom. Holy cats. Yeah, Dorothy Parker. I've got to remember that. And Carly beat me to it. Dorothy Parker. And I'm glad you added to me, Carl. Yeah. Well, what you kids do in private, what goes on the internet stays on the internet, right? No one goes there. And Sarah says YouTube needs to allow links that can be clicked on facepalm. Yeah, that's my problem with Instagram. Now, what you can do on Facebook, or rather YouTube, is you can cut and paste. You can highlight the web address and then open up another tab and then click in there, paste it into your browser, and go from there. And if it's somebody like Sarah's work, it's definitely worth the effort. All right. And 50 Shades of Aunt Donna says Carl Witzman. Sorry, Nana. That's what I'm thinking. And 50 Shades of Gray, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Freed. Yeah. The thing is, it's not that I have a distaste for erotica, but it's just some of the euphemisms in there. I'm like, oh my God, that is 6th grade. It's just like you found out what a pee-pee is, sort of thing. And I'm like, but no, it's not my cup of tea. But God bless the people that like it. And there's a lot of stuff that people like that I can't get into. I've never gotten into the Twilight movies, although I'm told that the books are exceptionally well written. Stephanie Meyer does a super job. And there's some things that I like, of course, that other people don't. Of course, it reminds me of a line from a comedian, a West Coast comedian I really loved years ago, named Gary Muledeer, who was on the mid-'70s revival of Laugh-In with Robin Williams and Sergio Aragonés. And he had a line about where he, always quoted his grandfather. And he said his grandfather used to tell him, said, well, if everybody liked the same thing, they'd all be chasing your grandma. So anyway, Rick Bradley says the process of, oh my goodness. I subscribe to a channel on YouTube called Frog Leap Studios, and he does heavy metal versions, covers of classic rock songs. And today he's doing It's Tricky by Run DMZ. Check out Frog Leap Studios and tell him Brian K. Morris sent you. So people will go over to my YouTube page. We know what we're doing. Anyway, the process of writing Marvin's Night Out, says Rick Bradley, was daunting, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about just saying to hell with it and to quit. But thankfully, you all would not let me. And when I finally get it published, I felt like I accomplished something many have tried, but few have succeeded. Exactly. And regardless of whether you sell a bazillion copies of that or you just sell one to me, Rick, you've already accomplished something Superman. And in less than a year, brother, less than a year, Rick Bradley's rise has been meteoric. Although meteors fall down, Rick is going up, up, up. And anyway, glad to see it. You are an inspiration to all of us, Rick, whether you know it or not. And like I was saying last night, you want to have a moment of pure bliss. Get your book done. Get your comic book done, because you know what the best moment is? It's getting that package drank and opening it up and seeing stuff inside, multiple stuffs inside, all looking the same, and they've got one thing in common that will send your heart to beating gladly: your name. Imagine the first time I opened up, I like I told him last night on Geek Insider, I opened up, I remember still to this day, vividly opening that box up with a box full of these, seeing this, seeing my name on it. And it was a moment of not just happiness, but it was bliss. It was joy. And you know what was even better? Opening this box up. Then this, and all the others, and even reorders. I get that same rush all over again. It doesn't get old. It gets better and better and better. So don't stop creating, people. Seriously, do not stop. And 50 Shades of Sarah Con, we got to get that organized. We really do. I got to talk with Cookie and coordinate with her. I'm hoping it won't just be me coming over is the thing, because right now the factory is ramping up production. And right now they need all hands on deck, and that's why they've had 2 solid weekends of overtime, and Cookie's going to soak up that sweet, sweet OT money. So anyway, my job this next week is to keep her alive. And David Atkins says 50 Shades of Kent and Karen's, the story of those who can't bash those who are trying. Yep, those who can't bashing those who are trying. Well, it's an analogy that I've been using for 20 years. I learned it when I was in Amway, and Varian Grant of IndieVolt.com, check it out. He uses the same idea. Crab fishing. If you've ever gone crab fishing, those big cages. If you catch just one crab, they put bait in there, and a crab will come in, and the thing is, if it eats its fill, it'll swim right out. But you get more than one in there, and say that first crab gets its fill and then tries to leave, the other crabs will pull him back. And you get more of them in there, and they all get that mentality that none of them will leave. None of them are going to escape. And the other crabs will go so far as to anyone tries to leave, they'll tear their limbs off. They'll even kill them to make sure they don't leave that cage. And so many people in this life are like that, unfortunately. They want you to stay in that cage with them. But those of you, Sarah, look how you've grown in the last year. Rick Bradley, Carl, Donna, all y'all, Bill, David, all of us, we are in a place now that we weren't in a year ago, and it's a better place for most of us, at least creatively and business-wise. And how many of us have had people along the journey tell us, you can't do that. Oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, you don't want to be, you're going to screw up your life if you do that. Oh, look at these weird people you're hanging out with. I love my weird people. When this, I'll get the graphic out. When this pulls up to the curb, these are my people, creeps and weirdos. Is that true? And of course we get the full effect. Oh yeah. And Carl Witzman says, ha. But anyway, and here's why. They're butthurt because you are doing something they aren't. All right. So anyway, just keep creating. and smile because it's Friday. Anyway, let's get back to your comments. I am so far behind. And hashtag bring Cookie home. Thank you, Bill Starn. Definitely. We all have someone we want to bring home, and Cookie is mine. And David Atkins, 50 Shades of Brian's tassel that twirls, that spins, and what making everyone smile is the backstage giggles. That's right. Actually, it works better with my other fist, but here we go. Anyway, it hurts the neck too. Anyway, thanks to Nevermind the Furthermore and last night's adventures, we've added 3 new members to the secret group. Well, excellent, Carl. Well, if they said they know me, that should be a warning right there. Anyway, check out Uncle Carl's secret humor page, the worst kept secret on the interwebs. And tonight is the green room, and I will do my best to be there with my new camera. And LOL, David says, Carleen. David Atkins continues, if Brian or a Nevermorian does not make the hanging tassel a book, I see a Cheers book coming. Well, then write it, David. Don't wait for us, dude. Cookie's already got me spoken for. And Carleen, there's an idea for your next book, Carl, the Hanging Tassel. There we go. There's the secret to the Mad Gasser. And there she is. Happy FRI-YAY. Well, mwah! Happy FRI-YAY to you, Cindy. And let's see, do I have a... I thought I had a FRI-YAY. Oh, wait, we got this. Stardate Friday. And even Mr. Spock has to smile at that one. Anyway, glad to see you, Cindy. Mwah, CKOEPP.com. And sign up for the best free newsletter around. And I'm eagerly awaiting my new issue. And if you say the magic word, the ducks come out. Oh, that's what we're calling it now. Anyway, and for more magic words, go to Smashwords and look for Brian K. Morris. Thank you, Cindy. Mwah. And go, Rick. Go, Rick. And Cindy, I'm in the middle of your, I'm actually about halfway through your story. You require so little editing, it is nauseating. And you have captured Doc's voice to a T. That's the voice I hear when I write him. And it's a superior job, and you do better at it than I do, and it disgusts me, Cindy. It really disgusts me that I am so awful, that other people are doing better with my creation than I am. But anyway, I love you, Cindy. You're awesome. And also go to Amazon.com for me, or check out that QR code up somewhere up there in the corner. Anyway, right about there. Okay, now I have a landmark to go for. Right there, that QR code that takes you right to my author page on Facebook. And thank you, Cindy. I love you. And Carl Witzman from YouTube says, I'm already too busy writing the script for the Indie Vent Murder. I see some marketing here. This is great. Cindy Kep says, if you haven't signed up for Rising Tides newsletter, sign fast so you don't miss out. It comes out on the 1st. Yes, it does. And you'll see the crawl down below at http bit.ly/RSNGTD01. And we have news, discounts, and secret links. And we're going to try something this month. We hope it works out. We'll see. We'll do it early so we can change course if we need to. But anyway, we're going to try some video, some special video just for the Nevermorians who sign up for that. So please check it out. If not, if that scroll is going by too fast, go to risingtide.pub, and there's a place where you can sign up for it there. Also, if you if you're on Facebook, send me a direct message with your email address, and I will sign you up immediately. Okay? And thank you, Cindy. Love you. And Michaela, and also check out Animal Eye, available on Amazon.com. That's Cindy's brand new book, and I've seen part of it. It looks to be pretty cool game-lit stuff. It is awesome. And also available from bearpublications.com. Michaela J. did some research. There's a winery on the Spoon River Drive that only costs $25 to set up on the weekend. Ooh, there's a lot of cool wine tours. I want to get in on those. Those sound like so much fun. There's one near me that takes in a local winery that's like about a 5-minute drive from me. And they make excellent wines. And then it goes up into the northeast part of the state. I really want to take that one weekend when Cookie's off. Anyway, this isn't a zero-sum game. We can all win, says Cindy Kep. That's totally agree with that. Success in this field is not zero-sum. It's not like there is a finite amount of success to go around. There is as much as we want to make. And there's not anything like oversaturation. We don't get a larger piece of the pie. Our slice will grow if we increase the size of the pie and make room for everyone at the table. Anyway, everyone it earns it. And don't forget to tip your host. That's right. And don't forget, thank you for reminding me, Cindy. We'll put up that banner right now. If you like what you see in here, please consider leaving a tip at paypal.me/Rising Tide BKM. That's capital BKM. Everything else is lowercase. But anyway, all contributions will be privately and gratefully acknowledged. And I thank you very much. Thank you, Cindy, for reminding me. And hashtag fueled by spite. Yeah, that is my motivation. Sinatra's revenge, living well. And like I was saying last night on Geek Insider, the great Geek Insider show, that do you know how much satisfaction there is not just in seeing your name on a book and seeing reviews for it and knowing people are buying it and enjoying it and encouraging you for more? Do you know how satisfying it is to have a naysayer have their nose rubbed in your accomplishments? I tell people when I started, it was originally Freelance Words, but we changed it to Rising Tide in 2015. And to reflect more of our personal philosophy. And when I started, when I announced that I was going to do this full time, because I was looking for another job, but this was my plan A at the time, and it still is. How many people that knew me were telling me, you're an idiot? Is this another one of your idiot schemes? Like you've tried publishing mini comics, you've tried Amway, and you have not succeeded in them. Basically telling me, we're not going to take you seriously. You're just going to fall on your face. We're going, and I got a little bit of mockery for it. And then I sent out Bloodshot: The Coldest Warrior, and it shot up to number 2 in the hot books of that month in the category it was in. And it was continually in the top 100 in its genre, frequently in the top 10. And you keep pointing that out, and suddenly the naysayers fall quiet. Gee, amazing how that works. Anyway, yeah, fueled by spite. Anyway, thank you, Rick Bradley. And Carlene says, sounds good. Michaela and Cindy Cap says, how's Cookie doing? Cookie is downstairs right now, relaxing. And she is almost 100%, thanks to the doctor's care and, a little bit of mine. Just saying, ladies. Anyway, but no, she is doing a lot better. She is taking care of herself. She is looking forward to having a weekend of overtime, actually. And because she is not cheap. She's not easy, but she's not cheap on the weekends either. But no, thank you for asking, Cindy. She is doing much better. And I am very proud of her, and she wants to thank everyone for your concern, your prayers, your positive energy, and she is going to be hitting the road with me soon. So as soon as we start getting some shows, she won't be with me in Hannibal. I'm hoping I can bring my assistant with me, but my other one, but. And we know who you are, Teresa. But anyway, we will be doing what else? We are still on for SI Comic Con the following week on the 10th, I believe it is. Let's see, 2nd, 3rd. Yes, the 10th of October in Benton, Illinois. That's still on. And then the weekend, the Saturday after that, I will be at Kokomo Con in Kokomo, Indiana. And I'm really looking forward to that. That's always a good show. And I will say that Kokomo is setting up for social distancing. So they are going to have a cap. It's going to have a high cap because it's a huge building. So we can do that. But as things go right now, those 3 shows are in effect, as well as, and thank you for scheduling that, Meredith. I just got the notice for that. I appreciate it. Anyway, also, we are going to be putting in an appearance at Castle Perilous towards the end of the month for Halloween Comic Fest. So October is the month you get sick of me, and then you go back to normal in November. Brian Rodman says, you are absolutely right about faith being so crucial. It is the primary inspiration of Memoirs of an Angel, even though I wouldn't call it a religious book per se. But it's an amalgamation of my faith and love of horror and love for high fantasy. That's why I tell people it's like Lord of the Rings meets The Exorcist. I'm sold. It's demonic horror that uses the world building rules and themes of the Bible to add in that high fantasy flair that has inspired the most important part of my life, my relationship with God. Well, Lord love you in all ways possible. Brian Rodman, that's beautiful. I love that. And the thing is, not to focus on me again, but when I wrote one story in the Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove, and it was a very dark horror story, very unpleasant, really, in some areas, really creepy. But it also, affirms a part of my faith that if you believe in demons, you have to believe in God. Because if you, at least in my opinion, and you're welcome to disagree, but we're not going to discuss that today. Not here. This is not the place. But yeah, and I know a number of authors whose faith reflects in their work, like Luke Stone of Hybrid Sons of Gods, which, by the way, is the trade paperback with all kinds of added goodies, is available right now on Indiegogo. So look up Luke Stone or Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. And he's got a great Kickstarter campaign. I think he, at least as of yesterday evening, he was like, what was it, Meredith? Like 44% of the way to his goal. And if he reaches $8,000, which he is online to do, there will be some stories, some very special stories in there by at least two creators who are here right now, Meredith and myself, along with Eric Hawkins. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please help him reach his goal and beat the heck out of him, okay? And we got some more comments we gotta get through, but thank you for sharing that, Brian. Thank you for sharing your testimony. And Johnny Pica, good to see you, brother Pica. I'm one of those people who tells you what I am going to do, and then I do exactly as I said I would. That pisses a lot of people off. Yeah, doesn't it though? Isn't it great? I love it. There are some people that need to be pissed off. But Michaela Routley isn't one of them because we love her. Hey guys, hey gal, mwah, glad to see you, Michaela. Hope you are having a great morning. This is not Michaela Jade, but her progeny, and a very talented one at that. Good to see you. And speaking of talented, on vacation but checking in, good morning all from Ted Davies. Ted Davies Artistry on Facebook. Ted Davies artistry.com. Check it out. Glad to see you, Ted. Hope you and your lady are having a great holiday together. And Cindy kept saying, "See, I'm looking forward to your chameleon feedback. So far, it's going to be nothing but praise, sweetheart. I promise you that." And Ted Davies brings the covfefe. I have run out of mine, so we're going to get through this as fast as we can. Cindy Cap says, "Ooh, I must went." That sounds like an Amy Hale thing there. Break time is over. Have a grand FRI-YAY. I'll catch up with you all later. In the meantime, check out my Snazzy webpage at ckoepp.com. Do check that out. Do sign up for that free monthly newsletter. You are going to love it. It's always great reading from Cindy Cap. Mwah, Cindy, love you. Have a great weekend, hon. And two internet broadcasters set up a weekend event, says Carl Wisman, planning to be in and out of the show, but their viewers have different ideas. They will keep them online until the end. That's right, till the end of time. And Candace Comaleri, good morning. Mwah! Candace, how are you doing? Candace is an incredibly talented illustrator and one of my favorite humans on this whole mud ball. Candace, it's good to see you. I hope you are having a splendid Friday, and hope you and Tim have a great weekend. Mwah, I love you. You know that. I will keep reminding you anyway. Anyway, John B. Pica says the New Mutants movie finally releases today in theaters and video on demand. Download at home. It is based on Bob McLeod and Bill Sienkiewicz's stories. That's right. That's what I hear. I love the old New Mutants book, especially the first 3 years of it. That was a really good book. Chris Claremont did some fantastic writing on there. And Bill Sienkiewicz, that's about the time he became more impressionistic in his art style, but it just fit perfectly for the New Mutants. But he's also a great inker, and he's one of the few reasons I can stand to read that Batman thing that Neil Adams did a few years ago. His inks on Neil Adams are flawless, and I shouldn't be surprised. Beautiful inking on Adams. But anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the new Mutants movie. Thank you for reminding us, John. And Rick Bradley says that and Bill and Ted 3 are two I must watch. I agree with you. Bill and Ted Face the Music. That is going to be so cool. And let's see. And poor John B. Pike, I'm dealing with trolls this morning. I've got to stop commenting on friends' posts. Yeah, I ran into that yesterday when I express my libertarian point of view to somebody who's like, well, you've got to vote against the president because otherwise we'll never get him out of there. I'm like, well, I'm just, in this case, I am just one person. Libertarian votes don't do enough to sway the outcome at this point in time, and I want to make sure they stay on the ballot. He goes, well, you must be a Trump lover then. And I'm like, well, and you must be an idiot. So I don't like any of the candidates. That's part of being that's part of my libertarian stance. If I like any of the candidates, I'd vote for them. I don't. Anyway, I am relentless, so those that are haters are humiliated. That's what I love doing too, John. That's why we get along so well, brother. And Rick Bradley, I'll be there to see you at Castle Perilous. I hope so. Yeah, we're going to firm up that date in the next couple weeks, Rick, and we will be posting that as soon as possible. And Brian, I want to get that book. John, I want to get yours. We got to work something out, dude. And everyone take care and stay creative, even if it's a small thing. Create. Rick Bradley, every creation's never small, man. It's always huge. It makes a difference. It really does. And that's not a drink thing. Anyway, have a great weekend, Rick Bradley. Glad to see you. As always, John B. Pico. What's funny is those people we piss off with our success get really personal and nasty. According to one of them, I have a stage show, a show he used to be a cast member in. Oh, man. What a D nozzle. Man, what a jerk. Anyway, that is, oh man, and that's the sort of people I love targeting with that sort of thing. And John, I'm the sort of person that I'm not saying I'm petty, but I do believe in shooting the warning shot goes about 6 inches below the water line, and when it's all said and done, when you tally it up, you still owe me one. I go nuclear option fast, and I love seeing it in others. Anyway, David Atkins, I will always remind you all how much I love you guys, and I am proud of all of you. David, that goes both ways, man. I mean, we don't always see eye to eye on everything, but we all see eye to eye on the larger picture, man. And we love you too, David. Never to forget that. Make this weekend memorable and spread the smiles, fighting the hate. Take care and stay safe. You too, David. Take care of yourself. Hug that lady, okay? And have a great weekend. And Candace Camilleri, sending you lots of hugs to you and Cookie. Lots of hugs and love back to you, sweetheart. It's going to be a good weekend. Going to start diving into new paintings for RaptorCon in December. Beautiful. Really miss being out on the road and seeing everyone. Yeah, same here. Also, stepping out of my comfort zones and finished the illustration for a magazine I'm contributing to. I Know the One, and it made me happy. We're going to be in the same book. Always very blessed. And Candace, you are a blessing. You really are. I am so proud of your success. Got to brag on you for a moment. Just a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, Candace was working on some challenging times, and she set up at a show. And I know she was to quote Steven Still, she was scaredless, and she set up, and within 20 minutes, she owned the room. It was a beautiful thing to watch. It was like watching a beautiful hunting falcon emerge from the shell and take to the skies. And she has been going from triumph to triumph ever since. And I am so proud of this lady. And Candace, I'm gonna find a way we can work together. I've got some projects in mind for us. Every day in my office, I look at your Skyman portrait that you made for me, and I love it so much. And I love you, and Cookie and I both do, and we'll see each other soon, seriously. And I always look forward to seeing your triumph, sweetheart. I really do. And Brian Rodman, this show has been a refreshing breath of fresh air, Brian. So thankful for what you're doing. Have a great weekend, everyone. Brian Rodman, thank you for showing up and contributing to the positivity. Which is what we try to do. We do veer from the path every now and then, but thanks to guys like you. Thank you for sharing your story with us, and thank you for being here and being my friend and our friend too. So Brian Rodman, you have a great weekend also. And with that, let's talk about some other stuff. And if you like Carl Wisman's voice, check out what he's talking about.
If you love comic books, you'll love comicspriceguide.com, the world's largest comic book price guide. Basic membership is free, and you'll have access to an amazing message board with a fantastic community of your fellow collectors. You can also upload your comic book inventory and manage its value in real time. Learn more about your favorite comics with their database of over 950,000 comics. It's a great place to sell, buy, or trade comics. So celebrate being a geek and sign up for comicspriceguide.com today. Looking for highly entertaining pop culture podcasts with high production values? Then check out the Journey into Comics podcast network at journeyintocomics.com. Nate Phillips and his crew deliver an amazing variety of downloadable podcasts on a variety of pop culture subjects, from comic books to entertaining with friends, from Doctor Who to professional wrestling. If you have a geek interest, the Journey into Comics podcast network is made just for you. For a complete downloadable selection of their shows, go to journeyintocomics.com. You can also subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, and Stitcher Radio. So, for an incredible selection of pop culture podcasts that consistently deliver insight and humor, check out journeyintocomics.com today.
This is The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
All right, that is The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Also, our friends at comicspriceguide.com and Journey into Comics. Please check them all out. And talk about good news. Now, there's a lot of, I was talking about people that don't get it, that don't get what we're doing. Someone finally did for Teresa. Good news. My brother congratulated me today, told me to keep up the great work. Really, that is great. Teresa's brother, without going into detail, because it's a family thing. He's sometimes even family prove not to be supportive of one's creative work. And Teresa's brother was a little bit stubborn too. So anyway, that is terrific, Teresa, and great, Teresa. I agree, so agree. That thank you, Carl Witzman, and. Whew, that ad is just enough time to run to the little Amy room. Yeah, it's you crafted that well, Carl. Carl put that together. Did a great job of that too. It's I frequently use it to run and get coffee. But it's downstairs today. So, and the show is kind of wrapping up. So, and there he is, Magi Jake Caretaker. How are you, my friend? My friend, I am so good. It should be illegal. It should be a controlled substance. I feel so good. I hope you are doing well, my magical friend. Hope you are doing well too. And OBS to the rescue. Yeah, I'm using OBS to put together some of my videos. So I've got one I'm practicing my editing skills on right now. I think I'm going to work on that today. So too, along with my Flash novel and editing Doc Saga. So we've got a full day. And John B. Pica says, congratulations, Teresa. Thank you for that, John B. Pica. And Teresa, thank you for sharing that with everyone. And one triumph among us, it inspires us all. It really should. And it makes things better for all of us, and that's how we win people over. One reader, one viewer, one appreciator at a time. And you just can't give up. And Teresa, not all of her family's in line with her being a successful writer, successful poet, and we're currently in production on her second volume of Poetry Expressions right now. But not everybody's on board, and you just got to get through it, right? And just like hotkeys are life when using OBS, says Carl Witzman from YouTube. Yeah, that's true. I've got to reset mine. I think I was trying to set them up, and I don't think I did a good job. So I'm just going to cancel them all out and start all over. But yeah, and I wish StreamYard had hotkeys. But I can't complain. StreamYard does a good job at what it does. So anyway, Magi Jake Caretaker says, "Sorry, I'm late. I've been up since 3 preparing my gospel show." Well, that's time well spent, my friend. Look forward to hearing more about it. And more about it. Let's hear more about stuff that has happened, stuff we are doing, and I'm saving that comment, Teresa. I'm saving that comment for the end. That's a great thing to end on. So if you're reading the comments on YouTube, you just saw that, and you got to be grinning. But anyway, please, this recent week we've had, but we will show this. Thank you, John Pica. Yes, thank you, John. Appreciate it, man. Thank you all for your encouragement of each other. And yes, Teresa, says Carl Witzman. That is beautiful. See, and it's like we misquoted the Beatles last night. The love you take is equal to the love you make. And Teresa's been a loving member of this Nevermorian community, and it's coming back at her, and the success is coming at her. So don't give up, people. You've got this by the short curlies. You can do this thing, all right? So anyway, talking about successes, please check out this week's Clever Title Pending from Tuesday night. We had a fantastic talk with Jason Nugent, who is a USA Today best-selling author, and he shared some of his tips on writing and how he achieved his very, very, very impressive successes. And plus, he's a terrific guy and a great interview. So please check out Clever Title Pending from last Tuesday. I think you'll be very happy. And on the indie event this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, check out the programming. Go to indieevent.com and check out the agenda. I will be there noon Eastern time tomorrow with Russell Allen. We're going to talk about turning a novel into a comic book. He's got a new book, Xenonanite Titan, and he's got plans to turn it into a comic book. So maybe we can give him some tips. We definitely want to have your questions. And we're going to be spending an hour with Russell Allen. That's going to be a great, great time. And let's see. And Teresa says, "Thank you, Carl. Have a drink on me." Well, Teresa, if he drinks on you, he might spill, and you'll smell like alcohol for the rest of the day. Which, for me, is not a bad thing. That's better than Chanel. But anyway, cheers, says Carl Witzman. Don't forget to check out Uncle Carl's Secret Humor page. And tonight he's going to open up that green room for some conversation and folderol. And I might even have an adult beverage or two while we're there. So it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to that. So please check it out. Please check out the various newsletters you saw today from hasm.com, Cindy Kepsi, KOEPP.com, and also my own Rising Tide Publications. .pub. You see it on the lower left-hand corner, of your screen. It's lower on mine. Anyway, also check out the QR code up in the upper right-hand corner. That's going to take you directly to my Amazon sales page. If you see something you like, you can order it from Amazon. And if you see something you like but you want it autographed, contact me with a list of what you would like to purchase. And if you get more than a couple of books, I've been known to chop the price off of those, and I will supply free shipping. All right, and we'll get it out in the mail within 24 hours. All right. So anyway, please check it out. Please check out all the work of all the links you've seen here in the comments, because you guys are doing some amazing work. So very proud of all of you. And I want to thank everyone that's been watching on the Indie Event channel, as well as the YouTube page for my YouTube page. Please subscribe and like. That helps a lot. Also, geekinsider.com. Thank you for watching on there and on my profile page and the Rising Tide Publications page. Please go there and give that page a like. We've got almost 2,200 happy people there who are enjoying about 3 or 4 new things every day on that page. It is too cool. And Carlene says, "Way to go, Teresa. It's tough being the changeling in the family." I know. I know that too. I'm the only really creative one in my family, aside from my mother, who's no longer with us. But anyway, Teresa Dunn says thank you. And thank you, Carly. I appreciate that so much. And Russell Allen says, "Have a great day, Brian. See you tomorrow." Looking forward to our conversation, Russell. We are going to have a good time, whether anyone likes it or not. But anyway, here's the quote I want to close on from Teresa Dunn. "I will prevail." Make that part of your vocabulary. You will prevail. People that make fun of you, the people that try to tear you down or hold you back in the crab cage. Don't put up with that crap. All right. And if you want to show them up, if you want to rub their noses in, then succeed. Get it done. Just get it done. Put you leagues ahead of them and rise above anyone that says you can't do it by doing it. All right. And you've got plenty of support, especially if you come to this show. All right. Because we do this show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. And if you want encouragement by Jingo, this is a place to do it. To everyone who gave me a like or a love on Facebook, we appreciate it. Rodney Fike and Joe Nolan. Mwah, Joe. And we thank you for your love there. And thank you to Silvio Spotty and Doc Grant and Brian LeBlanc and everyone else who gave this a like. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And to everyone who I didn't get to say hello to, please say something, because the comments are coming to the point now where I can't acknowledge everyone that just shows up. And even then, Facebook doesn't tell me everyone that shows up, and YouTube doesn't tell me anyone. So if you want me to say hello to you, please, please, please say hello to me so I can say hello to you. And John B. Pike, I'm the only creative one in my family, too. And Rodney Fike, late to the party, but hello, everyone. Rodney, thank you for being here, and thank you for the love. We love you, too. Hasm.com, give that page some love, too, and check out what Rodney does. He does drawings on Facebook and YouTube and all kinds of great places, so follow that guy. He's worth following. And John B. Pica, everyone have a great day. John B. Pica, thank you for being here as always, brother. You have a great one, too. JohnPica.com for all this man does, and he does a lot, man. I couldn't tell you all he does in one breath, and I love it. I will prevail. Nice, says Rodney Fike. Definitely. Those are definitely the words to go forward into this weekend with. And everyone, thank you. Thank you all so very much. And thank you, Teresa, for sharing your triumph with us. And thank you to everyone who's contributed to this page and supports us on a regular basis. And we hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget the indie event this weekend. And again, please be sure to check out our website, risingtide.pub, where you can subscribe to our free monthly newsletter. It'll be going out on September 1st. Every month I list what's going on with Rising Tide, and we're going to do a special something this month, see if it works. It'll add a little more personality to the page. Anyway, we'll have my personal appearance schedule, guest editorials, and occasional special offers and secret links, as well as motivation, education, and inspiration. So please sign up at risingtide.pub. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. I would appreciate that. Plus, ring that bell so you'll be notified of any future appearances. And if you're watching on Facebook, please give the Rising Tide Publications page a like. We got, like I said, 2,200, almost 2,200 people on there. We'd love you to be one of them, all right? And in closing, this is Brian K. Morris telling you on this episode to be sure to stay safe, stay smart, wash your damn hands, and never apologize for being awesome, because that's just exactly what you are. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you Monday morning at 10 a.m. on the next Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a fantastic weekend, one and all, and may everything go well.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Ooh, that made my nibbies hard.
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at GeekInsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends, because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.